What's up, guys? Rett Harmon.
Kesha Brown.
We are talking to you guys about realistic expectations for new real estate agents. And, you know, the C word, the way we're paid commission, that is, it's a different concept for a lot of people, especially coming from a paycheck or something that's routine source of income on a consistent basis. So
yes, which goes into tip number 3, save your money.
So when you save your money, you have the ability to stay in this game a little longer. There's a fairly high failure rate with real estate agents. They're starting out. A lot of it's because, not having the best expectation in the beginning about how sporadic income might be getting started out. It looks really easy for the ones that have been doing it for a while. It will get easier as it goes, but there's a lot right up front that you have to kind of pay to get started.
There is a lot more than I anticipated myself. And if you're doing this full time, if you're going at it like full time, you don't have a part-time job, I would highly suggest for your living and business expenses to have at least 6 months saved. If you have a significant other that can support your expenses, that's great. If you're doing this part-time starting off and you already have like a little 9-to-5 or a little side gig, that's great too. But if you're going in this full force, save your money because you're gonna spend it. I mean, just business expenses alone, not talking about your mortgage, your rent, your other living expenses.
Food, everything. So even going back to the significant other scenario, which is really, it drastically increases the odds of someone being able to withstand the waiting for their commission.
Because not everybody can just quit their job and become a real estate agent.
It's tough, and it does lend itself to be a little bit of a challenge. But you got to have that conversation with that significant other, and you got to kind of plan for it. Maybe you don't go out to eat as much for the first several months, so you've had some money coming in. Maybe you're a little bit more cautious of your spending. Maybe you postpone that vacation for a little while. There's a lot of little things you can do that can really increase your odds and chances. And the more that you put into it from the very beginning, the better it is. So having that part-time job, sometimes, believe it or not, it can actually supplement your real estate business. I'll use a good example. A lot of people that maybe they waited tables before, maybe they're a good server, bartender, whatever it is. They had the 9-to-5 job that they didn't really care for. They're ready to start a career in real estate, have a career, own their own business. Well, maybe they get back into picking up a shift or two at the most probable times for them to make money, a little bit coming in to supplement what's going on, and they're talking to people. So a lot of that works. But we were sharing a story the other day about someone that you knew that had just cold turkey quit a really good job.
Against my advice.
And it made it a little bit of a challenge for them because it's like the faucet just turned off, no money coming in, and bills start stacking up. And
a lot of people don't realize that when you start this, you're just spending money in the beginning. And it could take 2, 3, 6 months before you even see a commission check. I mean, if we're being realistic,
it can.
It's different for everybody.
The ones that happens quicker, that usually is because of they already had some stuff in the works, and everyone's different. But it doesn't mean that just because they had a close within the first few weeks with a cash buyer or the first month or so. On average, it takes about 30 days to close a deal. Who knows? They're going to have several every month to keep that income consistent. It takes years of being in business to build to that point. So
it does.
All the more reason why having some savings set up, planning ahead of time, and just being really, really relentless in what you're doing and going after business really helps. So that'll lead into our next tip in just a minute.
Bye, guys.